Okay, okay on period. Periana to the period. It's the official Kingpin. This is the home of the lituation where we keep it lit. Okay, on period. And as always, a pussy hole could never. Today we got another exclusive right here at the home of the lituation, okay? Chasing LA, the breakdown, okay? If you haven't already figured out from the thumbnail, okay, we have, okay, the Carol Baskins of the Chasing brand himself, okay? I'm just joking. Okay, that's what they said in the comments. I'm just saying, okay? Okay, we got, okay, Dee Hawkins, okay, on period. Y'all drop some crowns in the comments for Dee Hawkins, okay? I'm just waiting to see him here so I can bring him right on up. Okay, he's not here yet. He's not here yet. I'm waiting for him to get here. Okay, because we have some questions for him. This is the home of the lituation where we keep it lit. Okay? And we have some rules around here, okay? Yes, we have some rules around here. Yes, we do. Okay, there's no rusty, dusty, musty, crusty, raggedy, sissy, dirty, or pussy holes allowed. If you see somebody making it up in the comments, escort their ass that way, okay? The Fish King ain't don't play none of that shit, okay? On period. Dee Hawkins is in the motherfucking building. Y'all drop a lot of crowns and show a lot of love for Dee Hawkins, okay? We about to get him up on this live, okay? Y'all make sure that you guys are sharing this live. Make sure that you guys are subscribed. This is a marathon, not a race. We are on our way up. Okay, if you would like to support the official Kingpin in a monetary way, okay, we got Cash App, Super Chat, Venmo, Zelle. You just let me know, okay? I accept money orders, okay? Efectivo, pesos, crypto, okay? And that's just on Puriana, okay? However you want to do. Okay? Yes, where the money resides. Where the money resides. Make sure y'all sharing this live. I would like to give a special shout out to YouTube, Twitch, Beagle, Instagram, Facebook, okay? And everywhere my supporters reside, okay? On period, because y'all know the official Kingpin goes to where the money resides, okay? On period. Yes, if they got a check for me, I'm going to go check it out, okay? And that's just on period. I'm buttoning this one more time. Yes, for my fur out today. They call me Big Purr, okay? They call me Big Purr. I done coined the word Big Purr, okay, on period. Yes. Yes, they don't want me to start, okay? They don't want me to jump into the battle, okay? They don't want me to jump into the battle because I done took the word period and I done made it my bitch, okay? I done made it my bitch. I done. Girl, I'm the real Big Purr. Let's just leave that right there, okay? Without further ado, let me go ahead and bring the one and only Dee Hawkins into the live.
Kingpin.
Okay, on period. Hey,
What's
friend.
going on?
Oh.
Let me cut my light up a little bit.
Okay, on period. Yes.
What's going on in the building?
Yes. What's going on?
What's going on?
You know, I'm here. You know what I'm saying? You here. You know, this is the Chasing LA, the breakdown. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to talk about things that was on the show, things that wasn't on the show, you know. And, you know, we just the only thing we ask is that you're open and honest, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people have been going along with these narratives. You know, it's your choice. You can go along with whatever the show, you know, shows, or you can choose, you know, to break it down right here with the Crown family, okay, on period.
Let's get into what it's really giving, huh?
Yes, we want to know what it's really giving. We want to know what it's really giving, like, for real, for real.
Well, first off, let me apologize for the delay. You know, I got my my braces tightened today, so bear with me, people. You know, sometimes, you know, beauty calls or whatever. You know how they go, King.
Okay, on period, because you know that you're supposed to be the face of the show.
Well, you know, I give it sometimes.
I mean, I heard you say that. I heard you say that. Is that what you're giving today? You giving face today?
Well, you know, giving a little bit of boy, giving a little bit of wear DH clothing. You know how that goes.
Okay, yeah, because you just switch it up whenever you feel like. A lot of people,
you know, I wake up and I decide how I feel that day, and that's what I give.
You know, I was about to jump into it real quick, but you know what? The best way to start out any story is to start out at the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people, the reason that I came up with this segment is because a lot of people feel like a lot of things were left out. Okay? So let's just start with the dinner, because I started with the dinner with everyone else. What are your feelings about the dinner?
The Hamburger Marys?
Yeah, Hamburger Marys, that dinner.
Well, you know, like I said, you know, from the jump, a lot of different personalities, you know, a lot of different egos. You know, this is my first major platform here in, you know, California or whatever. So I didn't really necessarily know what to anticipate other than there would be a lot of bosses, you know, a lot of kings and queens in the building. So my first initial impression was, wow. You know, as many people saw, you know, it kind of went from 0 to 60 real quick.
Absolutely. Absolutely. There was a lot of transphobia. There was some fat phobia, some colorism. There was a lot of slurs thrown around that night. Do you feel like there was anything that anybody said that would justify, you know, the transphobic and the colorist and the fat phobia, all of that stuff, those slurs, just those ones in particular?
Well, honestly, I won't call it transphobia because the conversation and I wouldn't even say argument, but the debate between Fran and Alicia, in my opinion, was kind of one of those scenarios where it was just like, you want me to see you one way, you know, you want me to see you another way or whatever. It's like, if you're not going to respect me this way, I'm not going to respect you another way. So it was kind of like a back and forth type of thing. I wouldn't say that he was being transphobic. I wouldn't say that she was being inconsiderate. Honestly, I just feel like they just didn't see each other. They just didn't see eye to eye.
And, you know, if it happened one time, I would have to agree with you. But because it happened so many times throughout the season, you know, it is my opinion that those people who said the things those are the true feelings. But that's just my opinion. You said something about the trans woman of the show wanting people to see them one type of way, but they look one type of way. In the show, you said something about Alicia. You said that she had bigger hands and bigger feet than you do. So was your confessional looks like a shot at Alicia, showing her that you look better in hair and wig than she does?
No, not in any way, form, or fashion. And let me clear that up. Not at all was I giving drag, trans, or anything. What I gave was the attention that needed to be sought to promote, you know, my single that just dropped and also my clothing line. But let me touch on my comment toward Alicia. Now,
because the clothes that you wore, wait, hold on. The clothes that you wore, the clothes that you made, that's part of your clothing line, correct?
No, not the clothes that I wore for the confessional. Now, some of the clothes that you saw in the scenes, like the turtlenecks, like what I'm wearing today, currently or whatever, that's actually a part of my clothing line.
Okay. So go on, I'm sorry.
Oh, no, you're good. Now, the comment that I made toward Alicia, that comment specifically was just geared, I said what I said. Now, indeed, you know, I have, you know, friends that are close friends that are trans, you know, male to female and female to male. I love my friends to death. But at the end of the day, in order to be respected, you have to give respect. My thing is, if you want me to respect you as a woman, then act like
you gotta give woman.
If you're
so if you want me to respect you as a woman, you need to give woman.
Exactly. Like if you feel the need, if you feel big enough or bold enough to step up to me, stick your chest out, tease out, whatever the case, and step to me like a masculine guy would, but you want to be respected as a woman, then let the truth be told. Like, reality is, you do stand taller than me. Your hands are bigger than mine, feet and everything. But regardless of the fact, if you act like a woman, I will treat you as such. But it's hard for me to respect somebody that doesn't give respect in that same sense. If you don't present yourself a certain way, then it's kind of hard for me to accept you in that moment, especially if we're in a debate.
Okay, and that's just on
But
period.
all
So,
respect to the trans community. I love the trans community. I have no issue with any of them. Let's be clear on that. I love my trans men and my trans women, but regardless of the fact, whether I'm talking to another gay man, whether I'm talking to, what's a lesbian or a trans person, respect has to be there in order to be respected back.
and that's just on period.
Yeah.
Periana to the
To the
period.
period.
So back to the dinner. So is there anything that you want to get off your chest about the dinner, or
I mean, ultimately, I'm more so I enjoyed it. From going from the beach, to Hamburger Mary's or whatever. It was a good night for me. I got quite wasted or whatever. I had a good time. Despite all the craziness that was going on, the whoop, 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 all that, everything that was going. It was a whole bunch of everything, but I had a good time. I won't complain. It was the start of a really great season so far.
Yes, we all met that night, and you said that you were interior designer. You were really excited about your booty. You kept showing your booty off.
My booty, baby, show me a receipt.
Girl, you kept on getting up in those. I remember you had them blue jeans on with the crinkles on the knees, and you kept on.
Well, yes, I mean, if
you just kept putting it out there.
I mean, if the booty is seen, then it's seen. I mean, I don't have to.
It definitely sit up better than friends do.
Well, I mean, I'm not here to make comparisons or anything, but my ass speaks for itself. Okay?
A lot of people were insinuating that night, okay, because I don't know. They ask me all the time, is his ass real? I'll be like, girl, I don't know.
Is it what?
Real.
Oh, baby. It's premium cornbread fed country small town real. Anybody that's ever had anybody that's ever had the pleasure to see or touch this ass can tell.
Okay, and that's just on period. Are the eyes real? They want to know if the eyes real.
They are as real as they are in my head. Honey, and my ID, I got receipts to prove it, baby.
And that's just on period. So that night, you left with Jeremy.
Or Jeremy left with me.
Jeremy left with you. How was that?
I mean, it was cool. We connected. We hung out. That was that.
Okay, so because a lot of people are insinuating that something happened between y'all two.
Well, are there?
Well,
who is a lot of people?
Allegedly, you said in an interview that Quan is the reason that you and Jeremy are not together. Is that the truth?
Not together. Now, I don't know about the together part. If anything, I may have said something along the lines of Quan may be the reason that Jeremy and I don't see eye to eye. Jeremy and I have never been together.
So you guys have never been an item?
We've never been an item, no.
Oh, okay. You guys never slept together?
Jeremy and I were at one moment getting to know one another.
My. And the plot thickens. So, but you blame Quan for the reason that you guys have fallen out.
I don't completely blame Quan, but I would say Quan is a large additive in the reason as to why, because of the messiness. And, I believe some of that will be seen in the next episode, episode 5, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe episode 6 or whatever. So I don't want to give too much of that. But, some people, when they don't really have many opportunities to be seen or heard or anything to that nature, they try to have a moment or take a moment in any way possible that they can. So, sometimes people feel like stirring the pot amongst others to get their name spoken, makes a difference, but ultimately it only backfires.
Okay. Well, speaking of a moment, you said in an interview that I am the moment king. Like, I'm always searching for a moment I put on for the cameras. You said I'll be putting on for the cameras.
Let me elaborate
like
on that. Now, what followed that comment was, now the question was asking me, I believe, like, who do you feel, puts on for the camera, who's looking for a moment? And I was like, well, I mean, I can speak on some. Now, I will say you do get it cracking quite a few times, on the show, and it does prolong, when we've taped before, the back and forth to that extent. So that's not a lie. Now, I did follow up with that statement by saying that I feel like it was just your comedic personality.
Absolutely. I just want you to know, if I do turn up for the cameras, I just want you to know the cameras is on today.
It's
The cameras is on. Is we live? We live. We live.
Yes.
Okay? So the cameras is on. So if I
They
turn
are
up the
on.
cameras, remember that they on. Okay? And it's popping. Okay? So, what happened at the studio? What happened? A lot of people are confused. What happened? Because you came out the booth tripping, talking about it was too loud, and they was like
things that they didn't see.
Okay, and then, yeah, there were things that they didn't see. So what was going on with the noise?
So basically, as you could see in the episode, the cast or the group was sitting on one side with, the engineer, and I was on the other side, of the booth where the mic was. Now, of course, I'm able to hear the engineer in my ear, but because of all of the outside chatter, noise, hollering and screaming, at the end of the day, I'm not mad at the fact that people were having a good time, but I considered myself to be very strategic in who I chose to invite, such as yourself, such as friends.
I don't think that was very strategic. You had half the cast there, and we all just said, man, you didn't think we was going to turn that?
Well, no, this is the thing. I invited artists. I invited Jayla, she's an artist. Yourself, you're an artist. Fran is an aspiring artist as well. Quan was there because he was being featured on the song. These were the people that were in the building, other than the engineer. So the way I saw it, yes, it's okay to have a good time, but when a person is recording, when money is being spent, and your song itself, money on the flow, so I know you know about it. When money is being spent, I feel like there's a certain level of respect that has to be given. If I'm like saying, hey guys, calm down a little bit, kind of cut the noise, I can't hear the engineer. And if I'm having to say that multiple times, after a while, of course, I'm going to get pissed off. Because
so where did the booth, so you didn't hear us through the booth. The booth is soundproof. It was
No. The thing is, I could hear y'all because the engineer
was
in the same room as y'all. There was so much talking and loud outbursts in the same room as the engineer, so I couldn't hear him as far as the feedback that I was getting in my earphones.
Okay.
So that's where the frustration is.
Absolutely. So Quan was featured on that song, and you just said that you blame Quan for you falling out with Jeremy. Is Quan still on the song?
No, the song has actually been scratched. Now, one thing about it is, Dee Hawkins as an artist, it's nothing to write a song. That was just inspiration at the moment. Now, maybe I will, bring it out of the trenches a little bit later on a future album or EP or something to that extent. But the way I saw it, he wasn't going to get an opportunity to make a coin off of my come up. Not after that shit he pulled.
My. He was about to give
in
me
the
the
music industry,
opportunity to make coins off you. I know that's right.
In the music industry, there's the creativity aspect of it, but then there's also the coin aspect of it. And my thing is, baby, no, honey. I was trying to be a friend by giving you a moment because Lord knows you don't really get many scenes or opportunities, on the show. And that's kind of, has proven itself.
Yeah, but I heard that you said that you were trying to give him a moment. You were giving him an opportunity. You were trying to help him because he had reached out to you and said that he was in too many scenes. I heard you said that.
No, I never said that. Now, what I may have said, or what I more than likely said, if we're able to play it back, is he hasn't had many scenes.
Now, in the interview, you said that he reached out to you, and it was because he wasn't in many scenes.
Correct.
So you said that you set up the studio, and you had the studio set up, but you invited him and put him on the song, and because you were trying to help him out.
Yeah, so it was a two-part thing. Number one, as you guys could see in that one episode when we were here at my home in my closet room with the makeup artist, that he and I had connected and, kind of had the same understanding as far as not having our fathers in our lives and things like that. So that was the first part of it that kind of invited the potential for him to be featured. And then, of course, he and I, we used to talk almost every other day, at the start of the season, when we first started filming and everything. But, things just kind of dwindled, when someone shows you who they are. And I'm sure, as a poet, this is probably one of the first poems he learned. When someone shows you who they are, believe them. But the only thing that was left out, you got to believe them the first time. It only took one time for me, and I was...
My. So, how do you feel about people calling you the Carol Baskins of the Chasing Reality brand?
You know, quite honestly, I'm not bothered at all by it because she is an icon. She is an icon. Now, of course, I'm not here to compare myself to her. And let me give you guys a little bit of an explanation on that. So it was a two-part thing. Now, as you know, I just released my very first single, Between Me and You. I also, along with my business partner, just dropped my first urban clothing wear line. So reality is that's what I chose to do to get people talking about Dee Hawkins, to get, number one, my name circulating, to get people wanting to know more about who I am as a person and what I give. This is the reality of it. Like, this is my first year here in LA. Some of the people on the show have been here in LA over a decade. Some people are from LA, you know, to that extent. So not a lot of people know who Dee Hawkins is. So instead of, you know, taking certain routes, you know, putting out pornos or, you know, pulling out knives or, you know, all kind of random craziness or whatever that some people choose to get their starts, I chose to put on a very avant-garde outfit, you know. And as far as the makeup thing goes, because I saw a lot of people kind of reading on the whole makeup thing. Now, this is the backstory behind that. I typically do my own makeup. I'm wash face right now, whatever. There's nothing on this face. But that particular day, I always, and know that Dee Hawkins always supports creators, and regardless of most times whatever they do. There was a young makeup artist or whatever. I gave her the opportunity to actually do my makeup that day for the Green Screen Confession. Now, truth of the matter is, I could have done it myself, wouldn't have had any worries, but I allowed her to do my makeup that day. You know, she didn't necessarily, you know, have the complete shade. We were a little rushed as far as, you know, what the time frame that we had, and it didn't come out as exactly expected. Now, I wasn't intending on going in drag because what I did do is I took a day when it got my nails done, got the unit put on, and, you know, pretty much shaved my facial hair off because I wanted to show Jayla and Alicia, and, you know, of course, Hershey, when he decides to get up and, you know, drag or whatever, you know, are queens of the show, that they are supported, that they are loved, because there's so much transition going on.
So
you
you
know,
did it
so
to
at the end of the
support
day,
them?
it's like we're all kings and queens. Hence the whole crown movement. You know, we're all
So
kings
you
and queens.
you dressed like that to show your support. But in those confessionals, weren't you like dragging them as well?
No, not at all. I didn't
You were
drag
dressed
anyone.
up
No, I
like
didn't drag anyone.
you were dressed up like Lala from Star Wars, or Layla from Star Wars, and you said something about Jayla, Alicia tried to take my man or something.
No. Don't do that. We ain't gonna twist that up. Now, what was said at Culver City Stairs that day was, Dee Hawkins, I'm gonna take your man, quote, Jayla. Jayla made that statement. And as you can see, Dee Hawkins was as thrown off as everybody else was there. That never came out of my mouth until today.
My. Let's talk about Culver City Stairs.
Let's talk about it.
There was a lot that was said at Culver City Stairs, and I remember talking to you after Culver City Stairs because I had heard what was said, and you gave it to me like it was such a peaceful day. There was no drama. Everything was just, you know, everybody had fun. But girl, then I watched the episode, and Miss Thing Thing was up there stirring the pot. She was acting like she was going she was trying to hold back from taking off on Alicia. She was doing this and that. So, and then I also seen an interview that you said that you relate to her the most, and that's become like your closest friend on the show. So,
who is that Thing Thing?
She's your friend that you don't see that she's being messy, because you had insinuated that day at the Hill that I was the messy person, but they cut that out the show.
So, first and foremost, let's confirm who is Miss Thing Thing.
Miss Thing Thing is Mr. Cricket Man.
Who is Mr. Cricket Man?
Andre Hammond. Okay, we all
really?
know.
Oh my God! Not the one you said you never speak on, the one you never bring up. Oh my
God.
God!
Girl, this is the breakdown, girl. You know I can't break down the show without talking about Miss Thing Thing. But this entire interview has not been about her. Like, these girls go on interviews, okay? In my defense, these girls go on interviews, and from the beginning of the interview to the end of the interview, it's about the official King Pang. Okay, a lot of these girls would have no interview if it wasn't for the official King Pang. Okay, and then she needs what's going to happen is that you guys are going to have to put some fucking respect on my name. Because
you know I love you to death.
This thing is trying to say like, oh, his platform is on YouTube, his followers on YouTube. Oh, it's just YouTube, bitch. That's the same platform that Chasing LA is on. So what are you trying to say? She's always, and the only reason, a lot of people want to know where the HBIC, the King, the bad bitch, all that shit come from. That comes from Andre coming on set the first day trying to make like he was that bitch. And I stood up for myself when nobody else was, and I was like, bitch, it's not available, bitch, because if it belonged to you, bitch, it's over with. I'm just going to sit here, and I'm just going to, you know, like, bitch, no. It's not gonna happen. Like, I'm not here for it. It can't be this. It could be anybody out here but this raggedy bitch, because she came over here trying to make like she was so above us, and you know, like we were just beneath her. Is that how you feel? You're above the cast members. You're beneath, because you said in that interview that you know that you guys just relate so much.
Now, King, I must say, well, wait, let me make sure you're finished first, because I want to give you that
moment
to get that out. Because
I ain't worried about that, girl.
I just saw steam coming out of both ears, and it was about seeping out your nose, all that. You all right?
Oh, girl.
You all right?
You want to go grab your Catwoman suit, girl? Let me find out you're the fifth member X-Men. Girl.
I'm not here to defend. This is my thing. We're all adults. We're all grown. Dee Hawkins is not here to defend anybody. I'm not even here to defend myself, because at the end of the day, I've said what I've said, and I stick to what I said, and I stand behind every and anything that I have said, period. Now, me making my comments specifically about being able to relate to Andre, yes, I do relate very well with Andre. In the same sense, I relate well with you. Now, it's not my fault that y'all... Oh, no, you said that I'm the least one that you relate with. No. I said Quan, honey. Let's get that understood. We can play that back, honey. Or we can bring Imani Van Zap on her specifically to clear that up. Now, I know I said what I said, and I have a good memory. Speaking of Imani Van Zap, why was y'all coming for Q like that? Ain't no y'all. Dee Hawkins did nothing but defend the Chasing LA and the Chasing LA. No, I think it was you who specifically said San Diego. Okay, now, San Diego is what? What is San Diego? No, I'm asking you, San Diego is what? Girl, you ain't gonna reel me into this one like you no. It's not a real. Because you reeled me into the last one, and you know I wasn't trying to say Miss Mama's name. Baby, so I'm not gonna put no name on this one. At the end of the day, King, girl, if you here to prove a point, and if you didn't bite off more than you can chew, answer the question. San Diego is what? San Diego is a city, girl. We all know that. A city in which who resides? Oh, who? Who resides there, girl? I just asked you a question. Now you tell me, because you said it on Imani's show. You can't say it over here. No, ma'am, honey. You said it on Imani's show. You can't say it over here. My whole thing is, what does that have to do with anything? Now, okay, so let's just clear this up and move on. That's what you should have told Imani. You should have said Miss Imani, Miss Imani Van Zap, Miss Auntie, Miss whatever you want me to call you. With all due respect, what does that have to do with the show? That's what you should have told her. Her question? Yeah. What does where the producer lives have to do with the show? For all you know, he can have a place in LA and San Diego, Atlanta, Texas, Houston, everywhere. Number one, let me just say, we're not going to make this a bigger situation than it is, so let's clear this up and let me be the one to do so. So, the question was asked, as I was defending the fact that, we didn't have a lot of personalized scenes. And that was because, like I said, our producer, lives a little bit of a distance. Originally, we had two producers or whatever, but our producer had to step up, take the reins, and when he did, everything flowed well. Now, my thing is, he lives in the state of California. There was no shade there. Where was the shade by saying, of course, yeah, he lives where he lives. He lives right outside of LA. That's that. There's no tea. When they put out the show, before the cast, there was a trailer put out about him coming to LA, him moving to LA, specifically. So it was my understanding that he moved to LA. So I don't understand. I mean, and that may very well be the case. It shouldn't have even been. For me, I feel like Imani was trash for bringing that up. Okay, because it's completely irrelevant and has nothing to do with his skills as a producer. Okay, again, who brought it up? Imani Van Zap. Okay, so that conversation, and that's
But you know, like this energy that you have with me today, this should have been the energy that you have with Miss Somebody.
Wait, let's close that.
You got over there, you got
comment.
sucked up into her energy, and you was like, ooh, auntie. Like, girl, no, that was tried. She very much so have been trying the show from the beginning of since episode 1. That's what y'all should have been talking about. Miss Somebody, why are you trying this? This show is better than all the other brands, all the other chasing brands. This is the best brand.
Well, look, all I can tell you is when it comes to an interview, just like you're posing your questions and you're looking for answers, that's what happens. So if you have questions about what she chose to ask me, you take that up with her when you have your interview with her, unless you decide to decline it.
No, my question was about the way that you answered, not the way that you answered. You was just giving up information, and she was like soaking it out of you. I was like, girl, you don't see what she's doing, like, girl.
Just giving up information. Like I said what I said. The reason a lot of stuff, for one, I said we were in COVID. Of course, COVID was still going on, but we were shut down. That limited things. The fact that he did stay a little bit of a distance. It isn't like we were able to get together every other day. We had to schedule scenes, sometimes weeks apart. The truth is the truth. There's no shade in there. There's no setup or anything to that extent. The truth is the truth. Let's move on. What else?
So that's speaking of the truth. A lot of people want to know what was going on at the studio between me and you in that scene, because I was holding my invitation and acting like I wasn't gonna give it to you. You were, and it was because of what happened at Culver, the Culver City Hills. Is that the way you said?
Well, you would know if you'd been there, friend. But it's Culver.
Yeah, I wasn't there. I wasn't there, but that's what I was saying. You told me that it was a peaceful day, everybody was having fun, but when I watched it on the show, it didn't look like nobody was having fun. It didn't look like it was peaceful.
Overall, it was a very peaceful event. Now, people were indeed tired as hell by the time we reached the top, but the point of the entire gathering was met. Now, it ain't my fault that Andre and Andre and Alicia, I think, had a moment there. Now, that was very brief because, as you can see, that was my event. I wasn't there for that, and nobody was there for that. So
yes.
I quickly took Andre off and said, come on, honey, let's go. So overall.
Yeah, and speaking about that, so at the top of the hill, you took another opportunity to shade Alicia by telling Andre, like, why you arguing with her? She don't do nothing. What does she do? You have a brand and you have this. Like, why you
the
arguing
same
with
thing
her?
I would tell you. My thing is, if we were ever shooting or just even off camera, and you were stepping outside of your normal character because somebody upset you for any reason, I would tell you the same thing as a friend or as somebody that, looks at you in a positive light. Don't do that. That's not your normal self. Don't allow somebody to take you out of character. That's what a real.
But I noticed that you allow a lot of people, you entertain a lot of shadiness. Like, I seen you sit with Fly King I on the show. Y'all being shady on everybody's time. Like, what
no,
was
ain't
that
no
about?
y'all. There was no y'all. Because if you watch the episode, there were questions being asked.
Well, he said, well, if there's no y'all, then why was he giving it to you? Like, who are we cool with? Like, who are the girls that we fuck with? He was asking you, what about us? Like, who are we cool with? Is Jayla cool? Are we cool with Jayla? Are we cool with Alicia?
There was never a we anything, because that was my first time ever meeting Fly King.
That's what he gave you. That's what he said. You should have.
No.
Like, bro,
that may be your perception and how you saw that episode, but reality is that was my first meeting with Fly King.
Why didn't you just tell her that she should get to meet the cast and get to know everybody for herself?
Well, I could have told him anything, but he had specific questions and I answered them. I chose to say what I wanted to say, not anything that I should have.
Okay, so let's talk about coming soon.
Let's talk about It Has Arrived.
Yeah, let's talk about coming soon, because a lot of people want to know, why didn't you have any music or merch or before the show came out?
Well, quite honestly,
did you see this? Wait, this is second part of the question. I'm sorry. Did you see the show as an opportunity to chase different endeavors?
Oh, of course. It's called Chasing Reality.
Mm-hmm. So, but before the show, did you not see it for like your music or like?
Of course. I literally have been singing.
Or like your merchandise, because you didn't have it.
I've been singing for years. I already had songs recorded, but quite honestly, when I got the opportunity to come onto the Chasing Reality platform, it literally propelled. It lit a fire under me. It motivated me to push myself further. You know, when I got amongst all the different group members and everything and saw, you know, all of this black magic going on and saw all of this opportunity, it pushed me to bring out every endeavor that I could possibly think about. You know, some people that are on the cast are talented in only one area. I myself, I'm blessed enough to be multi-talented, and I stand very firm to that, just like yourself. So with that, no, I did not have a clothing line prior to the show. It was a thought prior to the show. But once the show, you know, got going and everything, I literally woke up one morning and I said to myself, you know what, Dee Hawkins? You can literally do anything you set your mind to. This clothing line you've been thinking about for the last year or two, just do it. Absolutely. The only thing that's stopping you is you.
Period. Periana to the period. So if anybody wants to know where the coming soon comes from, you know, it's because, you know, the website and all this stuff. This is new for Dee Hawkins because the show inspired him to chase his dreams. Getting on the show has inspired us all.
Oh, and let me go ahead and insert this. So the name of my website of my newly premiered urban wear clothing line is World of DH. It's Wear DH Clothing, but the website is www.worldofdh.com. If you go to my Instagram page at the Dee Hawkins Way, just click in my bio. It will take you directly to the Wear DH Instagram page, and from there you can go directly to the website.
Yeah, shameless plug. Okay, and that's just on period. You better have no shame.
To the period, baby.
And that's just on Periana.
Oh, let me tell you, I tried your hair product on my beard. Whatever. And you know, it still feels pretty silky smooth. You know, I ain't got much going on up here, whatever. You know, by choice or whatever. But my beard feels nice. So thank you for my gift that you almost didn't want to give me that day at the studio, but I finally utilized it.
Okay. And that's just on period. Periana to the period.
So y'all go
purchase for that. Yes.
Hair care products.
Yes, definitely check it. If you guys want to get some of the products, check out my hair care line. It's available via my website at theofficialkingpay.net. Okay.
That's where you can find all the that your emblem behind you.
Huh? Oh yeah, my Style King hair product. Boom. Oh, boom. Hey. That part. So back to the situation. You guys make sure that you guys are sharing this live. Make sure that you guys are subscribed, okay, to the home of the situation. Like I said, this is a marathon, not a race. It is up from here, okay? Let's get these numbers up, y'all. Share, share, share. That is the best way to show that you support your favorite YouTuber, and that's just on period. The Official King Pay, yes. And if you would like to support the Official King Pay in a monetary way, I'm just going to tell y'all right now, all of the money goes directly back into the platform, so support. And that's just on period.
You should pin it on your thing.
Put it where?
Pin it on your in the comments.
Oh, bro, I don't even know how to do none of this. I don't usually do this on Instagram.
I thought you were the king of social media.
This Instagram stuff is new for me. I just started doing this because of y'all. Y'all like doing interviews on Instagram, so here we are.
I mean,
now I'm gonna upload this to YouTube.
Not everybody is as well versed in social media as you. I will give you props on that. I see. That's the thing about it, King. I give props where they're due. You know, you tried to put me on months ago, you know, when it came to Big O and other things like that. And quite honestly, I should have taken, you know, that offer of interest at that time. But, you know, it just never has really been my thing. But I've seen you rise in the ranks, you know, of all these different social media platforms. And, you know, big ups to you on that. You know, I'm proud of you.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. Well, you know.
Now, let's get back to the shade, honey.
Yeah, back to the situation. Back to the shade. So, back to Imani Benzie. Okay. Because she's supposed to be trying to
do you want to bring her up on here?
Because she's supposed to be trying to our shit. Okay? Why is it that you feel that she's not giving her assessments like she normally do? And I feel like, you see me? This is the first time that she has given an actual assessment. And I feel like it's because, you know, after the first two assessments, she got a good talking to.
You think somebody had a conversation with her?
Maybe she didn't receive her check or something. Somebody is calling me. I don't know why somebody's calling me.
It's interrupting the live.
Something happened. and that's why she's ready to give her assessment. She's ready to get back to work.
Now, I wouldn't say that. I would say, if anything, from my assessment of her most recent assessment, it seems as though she finally saw what she was desiring to see on the show. She finally got a chance to see what she was looking for.
No, I think that she had really started out to ruin the show. She had a lot of people. There's a lot of people going around basically saying what the things that she said, and you know what I'm saying, and making like, oh, they don't want to watch, and you know, I feel like she was deterring people, like the commentators, the YouTube commentators, like myself, like the people that normally talk about the show aren't talking about the show because of the things that Imani Van Zant said. Okay, I feel like the people that are talking about the show are only talking about the show because I'm on the show, and the people that are talking about it, like the big content creators, are the people that I pissed off along my journey. So that's the only reason they reaching out to the girls for interviews. The Wileys, the Willie Vanillis, and all of them girls, they reached out because the official campaign pissed them off.
Well, see, I don't know nothing about that, you know, because I'm not quite in that world. So, I mean, you know, if you feel like you done pissed some folk off, you know, do like your good Judy Miss Quan did and issue an apology. Maybe
but no, it goes back to when people are saying things like, oh, official campaign just on YouTube. What has YouTube done for him? YouTube is the reason I'm in LA. YouTube is the reason I don't work for nobody. YouTube is the reason that I'm able to do what I do. And that people are still talking about the show because Mr. Imani Van Zant sought out to ruin Chasing LA, and I'm not here for it.
You know, quite honestly, I see it in a bigger picture sense. I see it in the sense of, number one, Chasing Reality, you know, is the network. Chasing LA, we are, you know, the franchise. With Imani being a part of the Chasing Reality brand, in order for the viewers and so many people to have seen her insert of her assessment, it had to be added by the top source.
But
there's no way. Wait, let me finish this. Let me finish this and then comment, friend. If you see it in a bigger picture, maybe all of that is being done for larger propaganda. It may be being done to get more talk about the show, because reality is, if she was truly here to destroy the Chasing Reality brand and the franchise, and Dario would not allow that edit to be put in there. She would not be.
From my understanding, that they received the footage so late that they had no other option but to run with it.
No, the option is to include it or not to include it. It is not the show. It's a insert. It's a segment. So it doesn't have to be included. So if she was here, like I said, in my opinion, to wreck the Chasing Reality network and brand, it would not have been included. I feel like it has been included to do exactly what it's doing now, to get more talk about it and to help grow her brand, because you're talking about it. I didn't bring it up. So
her job is to talk about the influencers on the show, the characters on the show. Her job is not to talk about the length of time of the show. It is not to talk about the editing of the show. It ain't to talk about the shit she's seen in the background. She's supposed to be fixing our shit. Okay,
well,
you can't fix our shit.
Her job description.
If you're talking about everything outside of the things that we are doing.
Wait a minute.
Everybody else on YouTube that did reviews on the show found things to talk about. She should have done the same thing.
Perfect example. When you came on the show, didn't you say in your, I believe this was the first episode, you said you were there to crank it, or you were there to do something to bring the heat. Something you said along those lines. What did you say?
Shake the room.
Shake the room. Exactly. So you said you were there to shake the room. Don't you think that that's what she's doing? Obviously, she's there for a reason. She's there to shake the room.
That was a green screen. The first day, we didn't do those green screens the first day. We didn't know. That's just what I was given at the green screens. That first day, I came
so you were given that to say. So you're a follower now?
The green screen, so confessionals are where you give your feedback on what happened in the past. That was me giving my feedback on what happened.
So you didn't initially show up to shake the room. You were
No,
just,
I
well,
did
you
not
just said that
show up
because
to
you were
shake the room.
given that.
No, I did not end up going there to shake the room. I went there to make friends. I went there to
so
meet the cast. I went there
so
to
you
see
didn't,
who else
so
was
you
on
didn't
the
mean what
show.
you said.
Like I didn't come to make no enemies, but you know, in life sometimes it just happens, you know, and you always got to be ready for it. You know,
That is very
the
true.
Fisher King Pain is always ready. You never gonna catch me slipping, and that's just on period. So
And
when
to the period.
so when things went up, it was just stuck. It just stuck with me. You know, you guys sat there and allowed you guys to be insulted several times at the table. Y'all took it whether we were playing a game or not. The Fisher King Pain don't play their shit. There's some things you just don't do. You know what I'm saying? It was the Missy Elliott comment was cute. But then she went back and she doubled down on it and said, no, it is the trash for me.
Who is she?
You know what I'm talking about.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about. So
wait a minute. Are you
moving right along? I have more questions, and this
are you bringing them up again?
I got more questions. So your friends list. The people want to know who's on your friends list because you know there's been a lot of flip flopping on the show, and the general consensus is after the Amani Van Zap show, you just threw the official King Pain under the bus. That's what the girls are saying. So who's on your friends list now?
Wait a minute, run that back one more time. I heard some girl said I threw King Pain under the bus, honey. Who was this girl and what was said?
So after the interview with Amani Van Zap, basically the Crown family feels like you don't feature me, or you just, you know, you threw me under the bus that day because I feel, and I've been telling my people that, you know, from day one, we've been cool, we've been friends, and we've been hanging out from day one. Some of these other girls are your new acquaintances, okay, that wasn't featuring you like that from day one. Now,
I don't think there was a featuring me like that.
Girls on the show, I reached out to everybody and hung out with everybody and tried to be friends with everyone on the show from day one. A lot of these girls only started trying to be friends with people because they wanted to start forming some kind of alliance or try to make it onto season 2 somehow. Would you say that you're in any alliances?
In all honesty, the way that I see it personally, I can't speak for anybody, but I will agree with you. You and I, we initially connected from day one. Now, the only reason you and I don't necessarily talk every single day is because duty calls, life calls, work calls, business calls. You get busy, I get busy, but anytime we get on the phone, and let me clear this up for the Crown lovers, what did you call them?
Crown family.
The Crown family. So to the Crown family that is watching, that is out there, especially Miss the real outspoken 12 no, whoever that is, because she loves you, whoever that is. Yeah, she's liking and all that. But yes, shout out to you, because I see you his biggest supporter right now. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Hey. But let me clear this up. Yes, we initially connected on day one, you know. I don't have an issue with anybody unless the issue is ever created. The same way I felt about you on day one is the exact same way that I feel about you now. The only common denominator and difference is, and the only reason we don't hang out more is because, shit, you stay 45 minutes away from it if you ain't, you know, in Stockton or whatever. That's the only reason.
Okay.
You know? I mean, but King, you know I love you to death. Anybody that Dee Hawkins has the opportunity to get to know, to learn, you know, to make a connection with, it is truly a genuine connection. Now, you know, like I said, the situation that happened with Quan and I, it truly hurt my feelings, and it really struck a chord in me. And that's the only reason that I feel so strongly about how much I dislike his character. I don't hate him. I don't dislike him as an individual. I dislike his character and the way he chose to handle that situation, because genuine people, real people, don't do that kind of shit. People that got something to lose don't do that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So with that being said, so to the Crown family, ain't no issues with King and I. Me and King are clearly both kings, even though I choose to wear a hat and not a crown or whatever.
Girl, Caddy.
We know how to carry the antics. Like you say, I mean, like we have a good time. We can go at it, but we still smiling, we still laughing. There are no issues between us. I mean, as much respect as I have for you, I have as much respect for Andre. I have even more respect for Fran. You know, everybody else on the show, whatever, you know, even Jeremy or whatever, we don't necessarily see eye to eye, but I still have respect for him as a person. We haven't necessarily got into it, you know, since filming or whatever. But at the end of the day, I don't have an issue. Shit happens at times. It just happens.
Piriana to the Pirier.
To the Pirier.
If you have to guess,
what you sipping on?
The alliances, the alliances. Who's allied up? Who's teamed up?
Ain't no alliances. But what I can clearly see, in my opinion, there are no alliances because I don't really consider people pairing up to be alliances. But from what I can see, it seems that closivity-wise, of course, Andre, Fran, Ian are very close, include myself. I've grown to be pretty close with the three of them. Now, honestly, I don't really see you really hanging out or referencing nobody else, on the show, other than Miss Quan. Why you chose that alliance, I don't know, but you did, or whatever. You talk about her being your friend and things like that, or whatever. But this is the same one that called you dark and ugly and all that, honey. I ain't never called you dark and ugly, honey. So I wonder what the crown.
What you said is that I was putting on for the camera. People want to know, what does that mean?
What? Putting on for the camera?
Yes.
Like I said earlier, this must be somebody that just joined in. So if you late, let me repeat what I said earlier. Like I said earlier, putting on for the camera in the sense of using your normal comedic ways of cranking up the scene or that moment in that time and place.
Okay. So it wasn't meant to be like shady or anything like that.
You tell me. Do you feel like it was meant to be shady?
Well, girl, at this point, I don't care because I seem to be the common denominator in everybody interview. Like, y'all can't do no interview without talking about me.
You typically talk about most people in your interview.
Like,
so of course,
you want to say that I talk about Andre, but you guys could definitely. I've seen several interviews where people have gone and Andre is not even a topic of conversation. Nobody has done an interview and not mentioned me. And you can go through every interview, every review. Nobody has done a review or interview or anything and not mention me.
Well, you know what? In my opinion, that's a wonderful thing. The fact that people are talking about you means that you're making noise. So continue to do that.
Well, girl, I'm just saying, that's why I just, at this point, I really don't. I just feel like people are just doing it for clicks and views at this point. You know what I'm saying? Because I even seen Hershey say that she was just going along with the narrative that was put out on camera. And I'm just like, girl, if you was there and you know the truth, why would you go along with a narrative? You wouldn't want me to do that to you if somebody painted a false narrative of you and it made you feel like, a certain way or anything. Like, you wouldn't want your friends to go and push that narrative around. And my whole thing is this also. Where was these feelings when I was calling Miss Hershey up and she was coming out to the hookah lounge and hanging out? She was coming out to tequilas and she was hanging out. She was coming out to everything I invited her to. She didn't start feeling this type of way until after the show aired. Up until the show aired, I was able to communicate with her. If I called her, she would answer. If I texted her, she would reply. Now, she acting all weird, and I just don't have time. I'm not about to, you girls, this is all new for y'all, but I've been on social media, and I've been attacked. People been talking about me, and I'm not about to go back and rehack some feelings from 6 months ago. That happened 6 months ago. From that day, we moved on. She never said anything about the drag queen comments or them making any money. And I'm not about to relive that. Like, girl, what? Like, I was asking a serious question, and you turned it into something totally different.
I mean, well, quite honestly, I hear what you're saying, but I can't speak for anybody else. I mean, I personally haven't even really noticed.
I'm talking about what I'm saying is, what I'm trying to say is, and I just went on a rant. How do you feel about the people going along with the false narrative that the show is perpetuating? Because the show is making like some of the show is not true to the story. You know what I'm saying? That's not exactly what happened.
Oh, so you're saying production is not putting out true things?
Everything is not true for the most part. Like, I feel like people are being represented. I feel like everybody is being represented correctly except for one person, because that one person is way more nasty in person in real life than they're being shown to be on camera. Like,
well, quite honestly, that's a lot of what's going on. To kind of touch on that whole thing with Miss Alicia earlier, and I wish she was on here because she has a habit of blocking people on social media and then trying to go on social media and talk crazy about them and stuff. And to me, that's quite cowardly, but it is what it is. Good. But yes, Jamal, get your popcorn out. But yeah, but like honestly, it's just like when I was like her hands are bigger than mine, feet bigger than mine and stuff. Now they showed that part of what was said, but they didn't show how she was acting and how she stepped up to me and that type of stuff in that particular scene. So I can understand where you're coming from in that everything isn't always shown. And so it's like when you see one person say a certain thing to somebody, then it's just like, damn, they're horrible. But something obviously had to provoke that.
okay.
You've been provoked on the show, before whatever, and but like, okay, with you and Andre's particular stuff, we've seen that in its true form. We've seen that, that whole scenario play out, but when it comes to like people like, like the issue with Fran and Alicia, whatever, they didn't show that full scene. Now, when Q released the behind the scenes from the first episode, I think it was yesterday or the day before, now that shows a lot more detail as far as what happened, whatever. Now, for those that haven't seen yet, go check out Quentin Harris's behind the scenes on YouTube. It's pretty lit. Go check it out. Woo. But I mean, at the end of the day, as cast members, all we can do is all we can do, and all we can do is react from what we're being given, after we see it. We're in the hands of production.
So
thank you, love.
So you said in your green screens that was just a look. So you don't put on those looks in your everyday life. You did that specifically for the camera.
That was specifically for the camera. This is, like I said, when you look at the lives of celebrities and things like that and different people in the entertainment industry, when people have specific things coming out, like I said, I released next day, my very first single, Between Me and You. It's available on all social platforms.
So would you agree that if anyone is putting on for the camera, it would be you, because you specifically wear those things to try.
Now, there's a difference. There is a difference, and let me say, it's the difference in a person's character and how they carry themselves in a moment when dealing with other people. In that moment of the green screen, that was me and the camera. I wasn't talking to another person. I wasn't demeaning another person. I wasn't, being,
But you knew that it was going to be seen by hundreds of thousands of people.
Yes,
so
of course. So yes, in that moment, Dee Hawkins chose to do exactly what I did for the sake of people wanting to know more about who Dee Hawkins is and what he was given.
I think that if anybody's putting on, you missed to put on. You missed to put on. Because you definitely put it on for the camera. You put it on those outfits because you want people to talk about you. You're searching for a moment. You're getting your camera time, and you want people, whether it's good or bad, that people are talking about you. And I feel like that's what you wanted. You want to do whatever it takes to make sure that you're being talked about.
There's no feeling to it. That's exactly what was supposed to happen, and that's exactly what happened. Because of what I chose to do, and this is not even opinion, this is facts. I had over 500 downloads the very first day that my new single hit the streaming platforms. So mission accomplished as far as I see it.
You were saying something about that what I do and what you do is similar. I feel like the difference between what I do and what you do is that this is what I go outside like this. This is me. Like, I'm not putting on for no camera. You're not gonna put that fucking wig on and that dress on and walk outside and go to the grocery store and go shopping and that shit. I go shopping like this. This is me. I go to dinner with my family like this. I go to Christmases and holidays like this. This is me. I'm not putting on for no camera. If anybody is putting on for the camera, you missed to put on, because you put on all that shit because you wanted people to talk about you. And
like I said, there's a difference. There's a difference. I put on an outfit for the camera. You stepped out of character for the camera.
No, this is my character.
Went back and forth.
This is definitely my character.
Adult. No, let me finish. You went back and forth with another adult for the camera. You stepped out of your conservative fashion for the camera. You chose to be
Girl,
looked
I
at in
ain't
negative
decided
light on the
that.
camera. Now, just because I chose to put on an outfit, bad makeup, and a wig, hell, people went in for Martin as Wanda. People go
Girl,
in
I ain't
for
concerned with
Martin.
none. Andre could have got it that day. Andre can get it today. Andre can get it anytime he
It's
wants.
a difference in putting on a costume. We ain't talking about no boo-boo. We talking about this moment right now, so let's stay focused. Now, it's the difference in putting on a costume and stepping out of character. What I chose to do was in the positive light of getting my song straight, of bringing attention to my clothing line.
You did it because you wanted to show that you support the trans community. So did you do it because you wanted your song straight, or did you do it to show that you support the trans movement?
It was a two-part thing, and I've said that 3 times on the interview. Feel free to rewind it back, play it back. I'm going to continue.
I'm just going to continue to ask the questions.
Very much self-hating, very much self-doubting.
That's what I said.
Huh?
Those are my words that I said on the show. That's what I gave, because the people were trying to say, because in an effort to do like some kind of damage control or whatever, they were trying to say that I was calling Andre black and ugly, and he was calling me black and ugly. So why can't other people call us black and ugly? Basically trying to make it seem like Quan's not a colorist, because if they call each other black and ugly, why can't we? And I never called him black and ugly. And I told the producers, and I told everybody, if they got a clip of me.
I don't remember hearing that
pull it up
from either of you two at Hamburger Mary's that night. Now, like I said, I'm not here to defend nobody, but the fact that Quan chose to use those words, even if he didn't mean that, then it is what it is. But that's what he chose to say. I can't say that I remember you or Andre calling each other that night. Maybe I wasn't paying attention, or maybe it was never said. But regardless of the fact, this ain't got nothing to do with Miss Quan at this point. Let her defend herself and let her address the nation, the fans, whatever, the best way she wants to. She chose to say what she said. I didn't say it, so I don't care to talk about it. Let her put out another book. Let her create another poem or something to get her moment. Quit trying to bring her up on this live. Let her get her moment herself, okay?
I'm not inviting that. I got rules over here, okay? There's no dusty. Okay, there's no sissy. There's no dirty. There's no raggedy hoes allowed, okay? So I can have everybody come over here and sit.
Everyone on the show is fat,
okay? She got, she's living her dreams. I thought that she'd be on Oprah or something like. She hasn't secured a good interview since the show was ended. Andre. She's all of this. She's living her dream. We're all chasing our dream. Why
talking about Andre again?
Why she can't get no good interviews? Why she can't clear 100 views on a video? Why she can't get 100 likes?
I'm sorry. Did you bring up Andre again?
Girl, I do what I want.
Here we go.
I'm the official campaign. I'm the official campaign. This is the home of the lituation, and I talk about who I want, when I want, however I want, and whatever I said right here, I can say it right in his motherfucking face. You can go get your friend. He probably right there. Pull him over. Tell him to come through. Tell him sorry. Tell him pull his kid on camera. Okay, because I say anything I say about him, I say to
friend, listen here. Listen
here,
he
don't want these hands.
Listen here.
Tell him that. Tell him he don't want these hands. We can get off this live and we can set it up. Call your friend. Tell him to meet me at the Culver City.
You know what? And I'm glad you did it
ass off the mouth.
You are doing exactly what I meant when I said putting on the camera. This is what you be doing when we be filming. This is what you be doing when we be filming.
Look at ass, girl.
Quit it. This is what you be doing when we be filming, and we be sitting back like, God damn, can y'all stop? So stop it.
But girl, see, and that's my thing with you, because you always be doing that.
Come on,
when it's time for me to go, when it's time for me to go up. But when you going up, you don't want nobody to say nothing to you. When you and Jeremy having your moment, girl, don't nobody be like, oh, we tired.
They did. When me and Jeremy had our moment, as far as I saw, we were only 2 people in the room.
Somebody else has a moment, and it don't have nothing to do with Dee Hawkins. Dee Hawkins be like, oh, I'm tired of this. Oh, they doing it again. Oh, they doing it again. Oh, I'm so tired of this. But when you have
it ain't never been nothing like that.
And that's not fair, because we all on the show together. Like a lot of people, and I feel like you need to have, that's the only thing I feel like you need to have a coaching with us about, is people being respectful of other people's time. Because even when you were filming, Jayla kept cutting you off when you was talking. Like, girl, let him talk. Let him talk. Like, girl, you don't have your moment. Let him have his moment. Like, people need to stop talking over each other, and people need to be a little bit more respectful. Like, no shame. Like how you doing right now.
I'm listening.
No, go
I'm
ahead,
being
girl. It's your turn.
respectful. I'm putting some respect on your name, friend.
So, do you feel like, is there anything else that you want to get off your chest? Was there anything that we left out?
I mean, well, I would like to ask you, because I know that you are multi-talented, you got your hair product line and everything, I know you are an artist. I know you can sing, you can rap, why don't you give us a little something? Sing a little something for us and I'll backdoor.
Girl, this interview is not about me. My people have already heard me sing, but go ahead
No,
and take
no,
the
there's
stage
actually a
and
mix
you
of
sing
everybody
because
on
you know
here.
what? I didn't ask you to sing, and this is your moment. So go ahead and sing something for us and let the people know who Dee Hawkins is.
Okay, are you gonna sing something right after? Because
No,
I
my
support
music
other
is
artists.
on Spotify. My
Unless you're
music is on
scared,
YouTube.
my
My music
music
is
is
on
on
all
all
streaming
platforms too.
platforms. I sing live all the time for my audience. They've heard me sing. I have streams. I get paid for my music.
Well,
Like
sing
it's
a little
out there.
something.
It's out there.
Sing a
It's,
little something.
it's out there.
Sing a
Sing a
little
little
something.
something. I'll sing after you. Go ahead.
All right, now if you don't sing, honey, then people in my
Oh, the
everyone's
Official
gonna
King
say
Pain
that
don't
you
lie.
can't sing.
The
Honey.
Official King Pain don't lie.
Okay. Can you hear me clearly?
Mm-hmm.
All right. La 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 la. No, I'm just playing. You said you wanna leave me, and I respect your thought, but it's not that easy. I'm speaking from my heart, 'cause you know I tried to give you my all. So baby, understand, this is a real man's call. I know you heard it once before. You probably heard it twice. That's enough, because I'm sitting down. I sing better standing up. But
Oh, you done?
people know that Dee Hawkins can sing. If you want to hear more of the song, go stream it on my YouTube.
All
Or
right.
actually, go
She's
stream it
forcing
on
me to
any
sing,
platform.
y'all.
Between me and you.
Sing.
King, your turn.
She's forcing me to sing. I'm singing one of my favorite songs.
Yes.
This is Lost One by Jasmine Sullivan. Okay?
Come
I'm just
on.
gonna sing, some parts.
See, this is what I live for. Yes, bitch.
You know when you lost one. Let go when you know when you lost one. Go out and fuck different people to cope and ignore all precautions. You're drinking, you're faded, you feel like it's your only option. Oh, oh, and if it's too late, I understand. Sometimes it's too late to make amends. Just hear me out before you let it go. There is one thing I need you to know. Just don't have too much fun without me. Don't have too much fun. Please don't forget about me. Try not to let no one. No. Something like that. Try not to love no one. Yeah. Something like that. You know what I'm saying? On the spot. I was in my interview mode. Okay. Period to the period. Yay.
Woo, child, if I'd had some panties on, I'd have pulled them off and threw them in
Girl,
the
please. I ain't got time for that. You over here putting me on the spot and things, girl.
I live for you, friend. That's what I'm trying to get you to understand. I don't give a fuck what people got to
rap?
say.
Let me rap.
What
Let me
people's
rap.
perceptions are.
You know, they kept my rap out of the first episode because I was rapping the first 9. Okay, remember?
Okay, let me hear
Savage
something.
bitch.
Go on and throw me a rap
for that money. You know she a gore. Bend them knees, bet she can take a lower. Shaking that ass so she can't no more. Drop that, break that, wiggle that fat. Twerk that, work that, break that back. Break that back. Bend them knees so you can't no more. It's money on the floor. It's money on the floor. Okay, and that's just on period.
That part. I think I got
that out the first show. But they did show a little bit of it when we was all turned up at the end, right before, period. Because I think Miss Think Thing tried to rap too, and nobody was feeling it.
Who?
Yes, exactly. You don't even remember. You don't even remember her trying to rap. Tell them run the tapes back. Miss Thinking tried to rap.
But anyway, I'm proud of you. I'm glad you stepped outside of your comfort zone and did that for me and for your followers and your people.
Girl, I ain't got time. I got time.
Friends, you know I love you to death. I don't give a fuck about a pussy hole. I don't care what they got to say. I don't care what their perceptions are or what they think. I love you, friend. I appreciate you for bringing me on your platform.
Absolutely.
And that's on period.
That's just on period. And you know what? We're going to be premiering this live directly after this on YouTube. So come over to YouTube, go into the comments, and, you know, connect with the audience. Thank you again for coming on the show. It was lit. And I look forward to kicking with you soon. And that's just on period.
Most definitely. You know, you're supposed to hit me back up when you get to, you did just make it back to LA because, you know,
Yeah, I just made it back to LA, but I'm leaving tonight. So it's just a lot going on. But I'll be back Friday.
You get with my people and we schedule something.
Yeah.
Most definitely. Before we go, one more time. Between Me and You is now on all streaming platforms. Between Me and You by Dee Hawkins. My website, Urban Wear Clothing line, is World of DH. Go get you something. It's some nice things on there. And all that to say, hopefully season 2, King, we can collaborate on something, you know, because we are real artists and we can clearly, you know, hold our shit together and we don't have to worry about, you know, being flakes and phonies and things like some, you know, that you call friends.
Yes. Are you going on the cruise? I sent you the information for the cruise.
You did.
I'm trying to get that on season 2. You know what I'm saying? So
that would be lit.
We all can go, like 4 people to a room. Maybe you can hit up your new friends, and maybe y'all can all, because I think some of the girls are chasing budgets. So maybe they don't have enough money to get their own room.
No, we can't do we don't do 4 people, baby. I'm not going to be cramped. This a 6'3.5", baby. I'm not going to be cramped on nobody's.
Okay, that's just no. I got my own room. The only person going in my room is my assistant. It's me and my assistant, and that's it. I don't need nobody else. Okay?
Come on with your assistant.
I need somebody to carry my bags and things. You know what I'm saying? But outside of that, he's gonna be on vacation too. Like I've been working hard all year. That's gonna be his my gift to him at the end of the year. Is
I ain't mad at that. You know what? You like myself. Where I go, you know, my good friend and my assistant goes as well, or whatever. So I'm all for it. We there. We on some business, even if it's vacation. You know what? That's actually a good thought, or whatever. Maybe I'll do the exact same thing. That's a good way to say thank you.
Yeah, it's the end of the year. It's Christmas time. It's wintertime in the U.S., but it's gonna be summertime in the Caribbean, and that's where we're going. So it's Miami, it's Turks and Caicos, it's the Dominican Republic, it's the Bahamas, it's Miami.
Well, it sounds lit to me, so I'm all for it. So
I feel like it's Puerto Rico too. We're going to Puerto Rico. So yeah, it's gonna be lit.
What's up, Ariel?
So and it's open to everybody. It's open to your audience. It's open to your family, your friends. I have a special discount code. I'm trying to get as many people on this ship as possible, and you know, let's turn up. I want the crew.
You know what you should do? Send it over to Q or so they can add it in as a promo on the show.
Yeah, he has it. Oh, you mean like yeah,
hell yeah. Let's get the LGBT community out there. Let's crank it up.
And that's just
I love to see how people have fun.
Yeah, I'm trying to get as many. I'm getting like content creators and like, you know, different people to come, and then, you know, a lot of our fans are gonna come, so it's gonna be lit. We're gonna have our own events and our own.
Well, just as long as there ain't no fake bitches coming, you know, I'm fine.
Yes, and then, you know, they get a chance. Your audience will get a chance to meet you, your new fans, your old fans. They get a chance to meet you. Maybe we'll do like a show. You perform your music.
I'm all.
You know, it's gonna be lit. So definitely let me know if you could come. And you know,
you already know it.
And it's just on period. So let's do it. Let's do it. Well, until next time, friend. Let's get out of here. I don't want to hold you up too long.
Hey, just like you should.
Okay, that's just on period. No, they be lit. It be some fine.
Look, as long as they got some good seafood and things, I'll be and some good liquor. I'm good. Okay.
Okay, on period. Yeah.
But again, friend, thank you for having me. You know, every time I see your face, I hear your voice. You know, it's always a pleasure. At the end of the day, I can't speak for nobody else. I can't tap in on how anybody else feels about you or how you feel about anybody else. But in my book, you are just fine. So hopefully the Crown gang, is it the Crown gang?
Crown family.
The Crown family has a clear understanding at this point that ain't no tea or no shade with these.
I got one last question before you go. Is it just me? Or does it seem like Fly King has dementia or something? Because he keep forgetting everybody's fucking name. How is it that he don't know nobody's name yet? We've been filming for 8 months. He don't know nobody's name. He don't know my name.
I don't know nothing about that.
Half my name is in his damn name. He don't know my name.
What are you talking about?
He don't know nobody's name. He was like, is her name Alicia? Is his King? Is it, wait, Jayla? Wait, who is
If
it?
you don't get your, you
What's
don't
her
know
name?
my name. Look
What's
at that out
her
here.
name? Why you talk like that?
King,
Girl,
I don't know. Schedule your next interview with Fly and allow him to come on. And
okay, I'm here. No, I did reach out, and I do need to try to get Fly on the show. I think I'm gonna have Jeremy on here this week because I need to ask. We need to get down to the bottom of what happened that night.
Well,
why you look like that?
the same thing. Look, the same thing that I did when the filming was going on is the same thing I'm gonna do now.
Ooh, you should have seen your face. You like, you like, girl. Yes, I'm sure he watching this interview because, girl, I told him that I was interviewing with you today, girl, and that I was going to ask him some questions based off of this interview. So
You told who what?
Yeah, see, I told Jeremy I was interviewing with you today, and I was going to ask him some questions based off of this interview.
Don't be telling folks my every goddamn move, bitch. I ain't got one mama and a half daddy.
Oh, okay. Well, I just told you that I'm interviewing with him sometime this week, so now we even. Okay.
Oh, okay, I guess we eat it. Well, I hope that goes well. Good luck and everything. I'm sure if I'm available, and I'll be tuning in anytime I get the opportunity.
Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna need you back soon.
Hey, Monica Boo.
Yeah, let's do. You know what? I got something for you. I don't know if you can do it, but I know that you tailor and design clothes. I want this coat made for the reunion. I don't know if you can do it, but if you can,
is it Michael Jackson inspired, like that red one he had on it, the Love and Hate mixer?
It's Missy Elliott inspired.
Oh, girl, I don't do bubble coats, and I don't know if that ain't.
Oh, that ain't a bubble coat.
Do trash.
It's not a bubble coat. Don't do it.
I don't do trash.
Don't do
it.
Don't do it. It's not a bubble coat. It's not a bubble coat. It's cute though. I'm gonna have to send you a picture.
But yeah, we'll talk about it. Just hit me up.
I'm gonna send you a picture right now. Well, until next time, talk to you soon, okay?
We will talk soon. Love you, friend.
Bye. Love you too.
All right.
I don't know how to exit. Okay, on period. Periana to the period. That interview was lit. Shout out to everybody here. Shout out to everybody watching. Okay, shout out to everybody catching the replay game. Make sure you guys head over to YouTube. We're gonna be premiering this interview right now on YouTube in just a moment here. Okay. Show a lot of love in the comments for Dee Hawkins for coming over, okay? It's not hard, okay, to come and sit across from the official King Payne at the home of the lituation because the official King Payne asks the questions that ain't nobody else go ask. And that's just on Periana. It was lit. I had a lot of fun. Until next time, okay, it's the home of the lituation, okay? It's the Instagram for me. It's the Instagram for me. I don't usually do the Insta interviews, but yeah, it's the Instagram for me. So yeah, we don't have the intro or the outro or none of that. But head over to YouTube. It is going up. Again, shout out to Chasing Reality. Shout out to Chasing Los Angeles. The whole cast, the producers, everybody. Shout out to the Armand Wiggins show. Shout out to my family, shout out to my friends, shout out to the Crown family, shout out to Bigo, YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, Facebook, all of that. It's up and it's stuck. It's the official King Payne, and we lit. See y'all soon.